Hey guys, so this video is going to be a part 1 of a 2-part video talking about what dinos Utahs should avoid fighting and what dinos counter Utahs and well, also ass riding. I'm going to start with 6 and then 5 and then 4 and then 3 and then 2 and then 1, with 6, 5 and 4 being in this video. So yeah, let's just get straight into it, with 6 being carno. Okay, so just starting out with raw speed, carno instantly runs faster by almost like 10 kilometers, miles per, I don't know which it is. It runs 10 faster, pretty much. So you'll have a hard time running away from it if it decides to try and chase you. Now obviously you're going to want to be able to get behind the carno, but even this can be risky as the carno has a pretty big hitbox on both sides. It can catch your tail pretty easy. And so you should really only resort to doing this if you're on completely flat ground and there's no trees around. So let's say you get behind the carno and it doesn't run in a straight line. Well, at this point you can catch up to it by running in a tighter turn circle than it, but it has a pretty nasty brake check and can bite you from like behind its legs. Okay, so next is just the raw bleed that carno can deal to you. After one bite you'll be fine, but it will make you bleed to fourth screen after a bit of time. But if you get bit twice, you only have around 30 seconds, less actually, of running around. So if you get bit twice, you're going to want to run away as fast as you can and hide. And obviously if the carno bites you a third time, you're just instantly dead. Now I actually kind of forgot to record this part, but if you bite the carno like 6 times, it should bleed out, but always go for like a couple more, so like 7 to 8 for safety to make sure it'll bleed out. So I made like a little animation, so you guys could really get the true experience of what it's like to bleed out a carno. Basically, carnos are better than Utahs in almost every way, apart from their Z-turn. So, if you're going to fight a carno as a Utah, make sure you use this to your advantage, because it is your only advantage. Anyway, moving on to the big fish boy. Utah does run much faster than sucho, but it still does have kind of a deadly ambush. So, just be prepared that you don't get caught off guard by it. Getting behind a sucho is actually much more challenging than getting behind a carno. It's a much more slow process, which requires more coordination. But sucho has a very big front-facing hitbox and a very big left hitbox, so when getting behind it, you should definitely keep this into consideration. Like I just said, sucho has a very big left hitbox, but it also has a pretty nice brake check. It's physically impossible to ride it like you would an Aloe or a Rex. It completely negates tail riding because of its hitbox. I tested this myself, and it took about 9.5 minutes. Just of standing for it to bleed out, but obviously it'd be less if it was running about. Okay, so next, number 4 is anky. I'm not even going to talk about the speed because it's slow as fuck. Well, the thing is with anky is you obviously need to bite it, and to do that you need to get to it, but there's kind of a club in the way. But the best way to get around the club is just to go directly through it and time your run-in directly in between their swings. It takes a bit of practice, but it is possible. I know this sounds kind of crazy, but I promise you, it works. Now the anky doesn't have a traditional brake check. It just means that if it brake checks you, you're going to have to restart the entire thing again and run back through its club. Now riding an anky, it's simple but it's hard. You just gotta stay inside its body, but when the anky's turning left and right, it can be very difficult to keep up with it. Yeah, it's like 20 bites to bleed out an anky. Obviously you always go for more, for safety. Alright guys, so that's part 1 done. Please like and subscribe if you're a cool person. Yeah, bye. Got no time for misses. Shawty wanna ring, yeah, she tryna be a missus. I've been so ahead, I don't think y'all really get it. They been taking L's, they can't see how I